Hey guys, and welcome to Saints TV review, round 19 review. We just finished the game against GWS, and it was GWS 86, I think it was, to St Kilda 61. So, to be fair, not a great game, but not a terrible game. We've seen worse this season, to be fair. We seem to match up well against GWS. I don't know what it is, but we always seem to get them when they're not kicking well and they're not playing their best football. We drew against them earlier in the season when Carlisle went for that mark, and then the time before that we beat them. So we've generally been okay against them, and it kind of started like that today. We weren't bad. We were actually by far the better team. By far we were dominating. I think at halftime inside 50s were 18-40. Now if Richmond have 18-40, inside 50s their way, they're 10-15 goals up. We were 5 or 4 points down. So that really kind of tells you how we're going with our efficiency inside 50. We just couldn't find a target. We didn't really know who to kick to. Surprisingly, Jack Loney was probably one of our better forwards. He was actually decent, and I wouldn't be surprised if he was top 3 in my in the Saints TV votes for his performance. He had I think 21 disposals. He had 2 goals for, so he had 6 shots on target on goal. Gresham had 25 and kicked 2. Geary had 30, but I don't count many of those because they were all just dumb kicks out of defence. Even Seb Ross had 31 or 32 leading possession getter for St Kilda, but again, he just butchered it. It was good to have Akers back. What's going on, Eddie? So it's good to have Akers back playing for us. It's been about 11 weeks or so. But yeah, it's just disappointing because it's kind of like a broken record. It's the same story. We were on top for 70% of the game, didn't take our chances. They go up the other end, kick a couple of quick goals, our heads drop, they get on top. Remember had a chance late in the game to kind of get us back into it and bring us within 16 or so points, but he hit the post, and that kind of, that put it to bed. And GWS were always going to have their 5-10 minute spell where they got on top. It was just a matter of when, and they got on top. I think that was that third quarter where they kicked the first 3. We kicked the next 3 to bring it back, but then they kicked the last 3 of the third quarter, and that kind of hurt out any chances of us being competitive in the game. In terms of who I thought played well, I actually really liked having Caulfield back at half-back, and he just read the player well, never got caught out of position, always knew how to use the ball. His decision-making is just ridiculous, and it just proves that, he should have been playing a long time ago and he shouldn't have been dropped for that many games. Jack Loney, I'm going to give credit to him, where credit's due. He was very good. He just had a bit more zip about him. He got into the midfield a bit more, had a lot more, kind of connecting play up on the wing, and didn't just try and milk free kicks. His finishing was good, when he was on the run. Not so much set shots, but he's never been set shot sort of guy. He's always, quick snaps or on the run, and that's when he kicked his goals. Billings was a bit quiet, to be fair. Would have been good to have Armitage, I think, in the forward line with some of the decision making we had. He would have kind of created a bit more, just added that extra bit of experience, but that didn't happen. But it just proves that, we desperately need a player like a Gaff. We need someone that can break the lines in the midfield. Like, they've got a handful. GWS, they've got Kelly, Shield, even Toby Green. When he goes up the ground, he's very good in terms of his delivery. We don't have any of those players. Our best delivery for the game was Savage to Membry, and that was great. And Jade Gresham has got to be he must have one of the smartest football brains, because it's just the way he knows that he can, that kick to Membry towards the end of the game when Membry hit the post, he could have gone on his right foot, but he didn't. He knew he had no time on that, and it wasn't the right kick. He cut in on his left, took a bounce, and laced the pass out. And for a guy that's played, 60 games or less than 60 games, very impressed with him. Weller was shocking. This has to be the final straw. And just so we know, guys, Sandringham played today, and there's a guy called Nathan Freeman that played. And he may have had 35 touches, he may have taken 13 marks, and he may have kicked a goal, and was just absolutely dominant for Sandringham. So there's got to be certainty around this, that I have a feeling that he will debut. And I've heard from a few people that and I've said this before, I know I got us all kind of excited about it last week, or the week before against Carlton, but he's got to debut against the Dogs. Saturday night, Eddie it's going to be a big game for both clubs because they're both going to think they can win it. But Nathan Freeman did have 35, he did take 13 marks, kicked a goal, was best on, and surely is in discussions for being called up for his first AFL game of his life. And he's done it the hard way. So that's something to look forward to. I'll do a post about that hopefully later today or tomorrow. But we'll go through some of your comments just while we're at it. Let's go. Carlisle played well, a lot of you think. Roll on round 1 next year. If we recruit 2 gun ball users, we're finals bound. It's just, delivery in terms of effort was there, and that's kind of the one part. That's when I'm actually upset. For some reason this won't scroll. That's what gets me most upset when we lose, is when I know we don't care and we're not trying. But today we were trying, we tried hard, we dominated contested possession, we dominated tackles, we dominated inside 50s, we dominated scoring chances, we just didn't dominate accuracy in front of goal, and that seems to be the case of our last 2 seasons. So Ben Dixon, if you're watching, mate, congratulations, you've done fuck all, and we're still losing games that we should be winning because we're not kicking straight. Let's keep going if it wants to work. Yeah, a lot of you think that Geary, a lot of people are hating on Geary and Ross. So our captain and our leading possession getter of the game, a lot of you are kind of giving shit to that, which I can see. Geary did nothing today. And, in terms of Seb Ross, I think it was Jason Dunstall in the commentary, but just was saying that's his Achilles heel, is his disposal. He gets a lot of it. He works his butt off. Usually he's top 5 in terms of, kilometres covered over the match. But when he gets that, he needs to make that killer pass inside 50. He just can't do it. Who have we got next week? We've got the Western Bulldogs. We've got the Western Bulldogs next week. So I don't know how you guys are thinking about that game, but I'm going into that with a bit of confidence. I think after today, we played well. We played well against a very good team. They're now in the top 4 GWS. And the Bulldogs haven't had the best year, very similar to us. They just can't get their form going, but that's why I think next week's actually going to be a fairly big game for both teams, because they're both going to go in, their supporter bases are going to go in thinking, yeah, we can win this, and we can win it well. So as long as we can drop players like Weller for, say, Nathan Freeman, drop players like Sam Gilbo, but your time's up. Bring in someone like a Hugh Goddard. I thought Nathan Brown was a nice in, and he kind of did well today. Obviously, they didn't have Jeremy Cameron or Patton, but they had Himmelberg, and he caused a lot of problems. Carlisle did his best. I thought Steele, good point. Sharon Steele was actually very good. He went head-to-head with Callum Ward, and he actually beat him. He got more disposals. Callum Ward got a few late, but Jack Steele generally had the better, just in terms of his chasing, his tackling, and his desire to get the ball and to make sure that, not only was he damaging with the ball, but he stopped his opponent from getting the ball. Top notch to you, Jack. That was really good. I might just give my Saints TV votes now, but I'll post it later. I was really happy with Gresham. I thought he deserved to be definitely 3 votes for me. I thought Sinclair was very good. I thought, it's borderline Sinclair, Carlisle in terms of the two, Sinclair and Steele. And then one, I'd actually be tempted to give it to Jack Loney, just because of how much shit he's copped. He's had a tough run at it. And he came in and did a job. So I don't think he's a player for the future for us, but he's just proving that, he's got something in his locker, and he's doing the best with what he's got to use, so I'm happy for him. He got over 20 disposals, had over 6 shots, kicked 2, could have had a bag, honestly, and really positive. So I'm not really that upset. I mean, I'm disappointed, but the effort was there. I could see what we're trying to do. We weren't static. We seemed to have more numbers at the contest this week compared to last week, where we just bombed it. No one went for the ball, but that tends to happen with, you know, when you're playing against Richmond, because they just do that to you, and you saw them do that against Collingwood in the last quarter in this game today, which was a great game too, by the way. If you guys haven't watched it, watch the highlights, because the Collingwood-Richmond game lived up to the hype. It was really exciting, especially when, you know, Collingwood go 2 plays down, they still fought back and gave Richmond a good run for their money. I might wrap it there, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Obviously, we'll be chatting during the week, and thanks for the comments on, you know, I get comments all the time of, you know, thanks for, you know, doing your reviews and previews, really enjoy it. So it's really good that you like it. And I can see, you know, my viewer count, you know, every week seems to go up a little bit. So I'm really happy that you guys enjoy the page, even though some weeks it's, you know, better than others, and some weeks, you know, they're pretty tough. Like the week after the Richmond game, that was one of the worst losses, but I was pretty happy, I guess, with just the effort. In terms of execution, not there, but effort and desire and the tackling pressure was there. And, you know, when you hear Jason Dunstall just saying, you know, how good we've been, and it's just ridiculous that we weren't winning that game, you know, at halftime. Yeah, it's just disappointing. But those are the things that the tough thing to teach is, you know, desire and tackling and running, supporting your teammates. You know, the easy things to fix is goal kicking accuracy. So hopefully in the off season they take it really seriously, because it genuinely, like, if we make finals one day, you don't want that to be the reason we didn't win a final. We've all been through 2009 where we couldn't kick straight and we lost to the Cats. We don't want a repeat of that. We want to win big games. You know, we want to win finals and grand finals, and the only way to do it is to kick goals at big clutch moments. And we don't have enough players that can do that right now. So, yeah, let's work towards 2019, see who we can get in the off-season, and then go from there. But I'm really happy with guys like Gresham, Caulfield, Hunter Clark will come back at some point. Nathan Freeman looks like he's coming along. Ben Patton, Hugh Goddard, if we can give him a damn game. Paddy McCartan still to come back. Josh Bruce. There's a lot of good players there. And, you know, obviously Jimmy Webster, who'd be up there in the best and fairest, didn't play today, as well as Dylan Robertson, who's a gun running halfback, if he can ever come back. Anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. Again, if you know any Saints people that don't follow Saints TV, please make sure to put them in the comments, tag them in this video, or share the page on your wall, or just, you know, invite them to like the page. I just want to get it, you know, growing as much as I can. Let's try and get over 5,000 by the end of the season. I think that's achievable, pretty easy. We're on 4,884 or something, or 44, so it's only 100 odd to go. Yeah, so hopefully we can do that. It's just grown heaps. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon. Catch up.